Today we did get the new set, man, the 70 set, which obviously isn't that good, but we do still need to go over the new filters, man. Spent some time on the amethyst filter earlier. It wasn't bad. We spent about an hour on there. Get this out of my face, man. Let's get right into the filters. For the cheapest and most reliable NBA 2k25 MT, hit up NBA2king.com and use code GRINDS to get 5% off your purchase. The first filter we're gonna go over is the greatest era high bid filter, man. What you want to do for this is set your theme to greatest era, just like this. You're gonna raise your minimum bid up until you have a workable scroll on your console. On Xbox, it's for about 73,000 is a really good scroll. Let's see if we can lower it a bit and get a bit of a lower bid. Well, that's about to end at 72, so you'll be able to bring this down a little bit more on Xbox, man. Just work with your scroll, your minimum bid, if I can speak, till you have a workable scroll and the best chance to see any expensive cards as possible. Every greatest era is on one theme. I just realized that today, which is W. So the 70s, the 80s, the 90s are all on this filter, which means you do have 3 pink diamonds on this filter. You've got all the diamonds that came out today. A couple of them are expensive, like this Paul Westphal. You've got Grant Hill. He is still a snipe, man. Sidney Wicks is expensive. Pete Maravich, I'm not sure his price, so monitor pricings. Jack Marin, I did see he is a snipe. Obviously, Artist Gilmore is a snipe. You got 2 other diamonds. I know one of them is Cedric Mullins. I'm not sure. Derek Coleman, I didn't even realize he was on here. He's a snipe still, I'm pretty sure. Verify that, though. I'm not 100% actually. Now that I'm saying that, I'm not sure. I think he is, and there should be more pink diamonds. Ron Seekley is not a snipe. Who else do you want to? Obviously, Latrell Spearwell is not a snipe. Willis Reed is definitely a snipe, and yeah, that's about it. I thought we had 3. Why do we not have 3 pink diamonds in here? I guess they're just insanely rare and not active, but you do have Chris Mullin and another pink diamond, and then several diamonds that are snipes on this filter. So if you're looking for high tier snipes, man, this might be a great one to work. It's got a lot of options that are snipes on it, so give it a try. The next filter we're going to go over is the amethyst cheapest filter, man. What you want to do is set your color to amethyst. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest amethyst on your console, which on Xbox are going for about 9,500. I would say you could sell them for, man. I do suggest you scroll on the cheapest one. This Jokic kind of could be a pickup. I just sold one for 10.5k that I sniped earlier. However, I'm going to pass on it. Scroll with the cheapest one up. If you see any of the more expensive amethysts like Lou Dort, any of those new ones that came out, Dominique Wilkins, Giannis, LeBron, they're all profit at around 10k and below. So whatever price point you're scrolling on, grab those more expensive amethysts if they pop up. And then the other ones I would say to grab for about 7,500 and below, 8k and below at a maximum, because their price does vary quite a bit. The next filter we're going to go over is the diamond cheapest filter, man. It's just like the amethyst. What you want to do is set your color to diamond, raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest diamonds on your console, which on Xbox are going for about 59,000 MT. Again, I suggest you scroll on this filter because there are tons and tons of more expensive diamonds that you are able to snipe, man. So scroll on the cheapest, probably going to be Steve Nash on your console on Xbox and PS. If you see Steve Nash for about 45k and below, or about 12,000 cheaper than whichever one you're scrolling on, you can go ahead and buy it, man, and then resell it for profit. If you see any of the more expensive diamonds, man, I mean, there's just so many more expensive diamonds at this point of the year. Grab any of those, man. Obviously, you kind of need to know your diamond pricing, which ones to grab, which ones not to grab. If you're not certain, just make sure you grab it for 12,000 MT at the least, cheaper than the one that you're scrolling on, so to make sure that you do make profit. The next filter we're going to go over is the gems of the game filter, man. I feel like this filter only works well on PlayStation. You certainly can get snipes on it on Xbox, but I have been struggling to sell these cards personally, so give it a go if you want. If you're on Xbox, I know there's a lot more people on PlayStation that are doing gems of the games and things. So for this filter, what you want to do is set your theme to gems of the game. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest gems of the game card on your console, which typically goes for about 3,250 on Xbox, man. So find the cheapest price or for your console. Like I said, on Xbox, man, I have been struggling to sell these cards. Luckily, I sniped one for 1,000 the other day in like 3 minutes, and I just decided to keep it for the enabled all filter because I could not get it to sell, man. So you want to go ahead and scroll on the cheapest gems of the game, because you can see amethyst gems of the games, ruby gems of the game, sapphire gems of the game, which are all more expensive on this filter, man. So scroll with the cheapest one up. You want to grab these cards for tons of room of profit, man. They will pop up a lot on PlayStation, I know, for pretty cheap, man. These snipes go up for like 800 pretty frequently for some reason. So you want to go ahead and buy them for like half price, man. I wouldn't buy these for, especially on Xbox, you really want them for 1,000 and below, so that way you can throw yours up for snipe basically and still make profit. But on PlayStation, I would say no higher than 1,500 each. Obviously, if it's a ruby or an amethyst or a sapphire, you can grab it because those are more expensive, man. It's a great budget filter, but it's specifically way much more better on PlayStation, man. So give it a try if you're on PlayStation. If you want to give it a try on Xbox, man, let me know in the comments if you've had any luck on this filter on Xbox. But I have like 3 of these cards now that I've been unable to sell, so we move on from it, man. But it is a very good, I hear about it all the time on PlayStation. So if you're on PS, give it a try. The next filter we're going to go over is the 500 filter, or the cheapest all filter, man. You want to scroll down, no theme, no color, no nothing. You just want to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest cards on your console, which on Xbox are going for about 600 MT right now. KP for 600 might even be a steal, low-key. And a chat, I might have to look into those for real. They could be a little bit more expensive just because they're big boys, but who knows, man. So 600 is what the cheapest price that they're selling for are. So you want to go ahead and bring your maximum buyout down to just 500, which is the cheapest cards can be, and just keep refreshing, man, and snipe anything that pops up. You can get a lot of gems of the game on this filter, so if you're on Xbox, this is a good alternative to the gems of the game cheapest filter, man. So just spam 500, snipe anything that pops up, and then make sure you search and check its price for whatever you snipe, because you can snipe any card in the game on this filter. So just snipe it and then see how much it sells for, and sell it for a little bit cheaper than the cheapest one that's listed. The next filter we're going to go over is kind of the opposite of the first filter that we dropped in this video, and it's the greatest era cheapest filter, man. So for this, you want to set your theme to greatest era. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest diamond greatest era player on your console, which on Xbox is going for about 70,000 MT. However, we can raise our minimum maximum buyout, if I can speak, up to about 80,000 here, so that way we have a better chance of seeing any of the pink diamonds or any of the more expensive diamonds. You want to raise this max buyout up as high as you can while you still have a workable scroll, so that gives you the best chance to see any pink diamonds or any of those new expensive diamonds. Right now it's just a 2 scroll. I haven't even looked at it. Perhaps the whole filter is workable without even needing a max buyout. Let's see right now, and it is. That's actually phenomenal. Scratch the earlier filter I dropped, work this filter right here. As of right now on Xbox, I doubt you'll be able to do this same filter on PlayStation, but right now this is actually a W filter. You can see the entire greatest era, which is the set that just dropped today. You can see it all on here by just hitting minimum buyout 500. So huge dub that other card ended. I'm actually going to use this filter. Scratch the earlier one if you're able to do this as well. You don't need to raise your minimum bid because a 2 scroll is phenomenal, man. So you can snipe any of the greatest era players on here. Just know your pricing on them, know what to pick them up for, know which ones to pass on, etc., etc., and then you can switch swap the filter if need be, if there starts to get too many cards on the scroll. The next filter we're going to go over is the Central Division filter, man. For high tier cards, what you want to do is no color, no nothing. You just want to set your division as Central. If you're on Xbox, you can raise your minimum bid up to 90,000. If you're on PlayStation, you might want to try 100,000. Put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing. This is a very nice workable scroll on Xbox. And there's a ton of very expensive cards on here. You got like 3 diamonds that are snipes: Drummond, Gilmore, there's like Grant Hill and Oladipo. So there's actually 4 diamonds now, and then like 7 pink diamonds or something, including Gilmore. So it's definitely a crazy filter, one of the best options you can have to snipe high-end cards without having to enable anybody. So if you're looking to get some high tier snipes, man, spend some hours on this filter. Hopefully you get some crazy snipes, man. Let me know in the comments what you guys get. The next filter we're going to go over is the badge filters, man. You want to head over to your consumables tab over here by pressing L2 or R2 or RT over, depending on your console, man. You want to set your card type to badges. There's a couple ways to work this, man. You want to just kind of snipe the gold badges. Really, you just got to know your badging pricing. That's why I haven't dropped these, because badge prices is crazy and it's a lot to learn. But if you learn it, you can make a lot of MT from this. Set your card type to badges, your color to gold. I would suggest, if you're just starting off, definitely if you're just starting off, just do it like this: badges, color gold, raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest gold badges on your console, which are going for like 600 MT, 550 at the cheapest. You want to scroll here, and you just really want to, this is a very low-key filter shield. Hopefully you have time. Refresh here if a card that pops up that you think might be more expensive, because there's a ton of badges that go for 1500, 3k, 2500. So just keep refreshing here. Grab any of the ones, if you already know they're more expensive, grab them for the cheapest price. If you're not certain, say like, let's say Dimer popped up right here for 600. You do gotta be quick, but you're gonna go through here to the badge name, go to Dimer, and raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest one, and you can find out if it's a snipe. Or when you get like that, if it's up for 600 and you see there's none up for 3,500, you want to go ahead and just pick up the one for 600 and take the risk on it. Dimer's going for like 4,500. So that's one way to work the filter. You can also just scroll through here, put your badges, put your color to gold, and roll your maximum buyout to like 2,500, and then just start at the beginning of the badge progression and just go through here. This will also help you learn your pricing. Okay, that badge isn't really, there's nothing special up there, going for 1,000. This one going for 1,000. You really, you know, maybe you could get one for 500, but you would have just seen it on the last filter. Bailout's going for 950. Nothing special there. You just want to go through, find the more expensive ones, and see if any are up for cheap, man. You can get a lot of deals like this, and it's very low-key. Not a lot of people work it, man. Like this, you wouldn't want to grab, because look how much time is left on the auctions. But you just go through and look for one that's recently posted, like this brick wall for 2350. I'm actually pretty certain that that is a snipe. Maybe a mid one, 29. Yeah, that's what I thought, 29k. Glad I didn't grab it. But if that was like for 2,000, I would have gone ahead and bought that. This was just posted 1 minute ago, and it is a bit cheaper than the other one. So that's kind of what you want to do, is just go through here and find any deals you can on badges and then resell them for profit, particularly when on Fridays when we get new drops and such, man. Challenger is going for like 500. That looks kind of like a, or not 500, 5,000. So it's not really much of a deal. But that is the badges filter. There's tons of MT to be made on here. So spend some time on it, and let me know how much profit you guys get. It's just a bit of a challenge to learn the pricing of every badge, and they fluctuate a lot. So it's a lot more work to make MT on badges. The next filter we're gonna go over is some high tier diamond filters, man. What you wanna do is put your color to diamond. You can put your position to small forward, put your minimum about to 500, and kind of just refresh here once you raise your bid up. I couldn't remember if this was one that didn't need to be brought up or not. So raise your minimum bid up. This should be a working filter. I just checked it earlier, up to like 100. There's a few expensive small forwards on here that you can get, like Karolinko. I mean, there's quite a few of them, to be honest with you. Just go like this and check the pricings on these filters. You got Jack Marin, it's a new one. Andrew Wiggins, you got AK, Glenn Rice. So there's a few snipes you can get on here. Again, if you're not trying to work an enabled filter, if you don't want to raise a minimum bid up, which obviously means you only see the card if it's specifically set for 100,000 bid, 100,000 buyout, you can put your minimum buyout to 500 and put your team to Timberwolves, which will bring you on a 2-person scroll, not scroll, but a two people you can snipe on here, which is AK and Andrew Wiggins. So if you want to do that, you can just keep refreshing there, snipe anything that pops up. It's only 2 cards on this filter. And then there's also the center diamond filter, where you do need to raise your bid up as well. Few options on here. You got Wilt, Drummond, I believe, is a snipe. Just keep refreshing like this. If you see any of the expensive diamond centers that pop up, you can go ahead and buy them as quick as possible. DeAndre Jordan is not a snipe, and there's another one you should avoid, which is Sengun is not a snipe. But you got Chet, Dwight, Wilt, a lot of good options on here, man. So that's just a few of the 100k plus filters you can snipe on and not have to have anybody enabled. And the last filter we're gonna go over is the pink diamond filter, man. For this filter, as always, just set your color to pink diamond, put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing over and over and over again. If anything at all pops up, buy it as quick as possible, just not too quick. You don't want to see that help screen, but just keep refreshing here. If anything pops up, buy it, man, and resell it for tons and tons of profit and make a lot of MT, man. That's it for the filters, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button for me if you did. If you guys wanted to see episode 2 of sniping to 1,000,000 MT, go ahead and click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.